Well, guys, I guess this is going to be a little bit of a treat for everyone. It's going to be one of those days where it's going to be like a double upload in one day. And the reason it is because the fucking post I'm about to read actually pisses me the fuck off. Because a lot of it is essentially like gaslighting the people, not giving them what they want, and then at the same time, completely tossing out any bit of self awareness or self reflection out the fucking window so that they can just sit there and piss and moan about people not feeling the necessity to just give them whatever they desire so the little bullshit nonsense comes to fruition. Because that's how a completely functioning, healthy adult thinks. They just want everyone in the world to stop everything they're doing and just start dumping money into bullshit that's not really going to benefit anyone except for the person bitching about it. So with that out of the way, let's read this fucking bullshit. If anyone is wondering why I have a bad attitude sometimes, it's because of the following reasons. 1. People won't talk to me, but they talk to everyone else. Again, why is it that you never ask yourself why that is? You never do. You never ask why no one tolerates you or speaks to you unless you're on their ass. Why is that? Seriously, look at yourself in the mirror and ask why the fuck that is instead of constantly blaming other people for it. If you take 5 seconds of accountability and look at yourself in the mirror and ask, are my actions doing something that's really turning people off to me? And don't just automatically assume the answer is no. I mean, really, really put some fucking brain work into it and think about it for a change. Instead of actually just immediately assuming that you're somehow not doing anything wrong. Because considering how you treat other people offline, it's safe to assume you're probably worse online. Despite the fact that people there could actually fucking hit you. But yeah, you might want to look at yourself and ask why that is first. 2. They are loud and have no consideration for me. Okay, well, what do you want people to do? I mean, here's the thing. If it's your office, as you claim, then wouldn't you just be able to ask them to quietly go somewhere else? If it really is your office, then it'd be that simple. But if it's not your office, if it's a public space, where like a common area where everyone is allowed to congregate and speak, at that point they are not obligated to just be quiet because you want them to be. You can just ask them to please quiet down, or you can move yourself somewhere that's a little bit quieter. It's not that hard to fucking figure out. I don't get why the hell it is you're acting like everyone else on the planet just has to kneel on their fucking knees and give you what you want. It sounds more like you want to control people more than anything. And the reason I say that is because every single time something happens that you don't fucking like or agree with, you do everything you can to make it everyone else's problem instead of just your problem. Because apparently, if you have a problem, the rest of the planet has to also deal with it too. Regardless of whether or not it's even their fucking concern. 3. They ignore me and put everyone else on a higher pedestal than me. Okay, well, can you explain why? Would you please elaborate further as to what the fuck you mean by that instead of just saying it for the purpose of fucking saying it? Because that's the thing. You're one of these people that you speak so vaguely about things that it's hard to even take a single fucking thing you say at face value at all. And because of that, I just don't. I don't take anything you say at face value because it seems like genuinely everything you say is either exaggerated for the purpose of making other people look shitty, or you just diminish it and minimize your actions to the point to where it's basically like, well, everything I do is a big fucking nothing burger, but if you say one mean thing about me, it's the same thing as violating a war treaty that resulted in the death of 750,000 fucking people. Because, that's how it works when you're a mentally deficient dipshit. But yeah, could you please explain how they're putting you on a pedestal? 4. They know exactly what they are doing and have no regret, not remorse for their actions, because it must have been so hard to just fix what you were typing before you posted it. Well, here's the thing. If people are doing it voluntarily, it's because they don't care. And because they don't care, you have no right to piss and complain. You're basically just bitching and moaning. Because people just refuse to pander to you. I mean, here's the thing. Why do people need to feel bad for simply saying, fuck you, leave us alone, we want nothing to do with you? Like, why are you allowed to try to impose yourself on other people's time and their lives and their fucking schedules and just their daily routines? But when people just tell you to go the fuck away, you spaz the fuck out, throw a tantrum, and do everything you can to cause them difficulty. That sounds like you have a serious fucking problem when it comes down to just letting people the fuck go. 5. Nobody is supporting my movie, and instead are bullying me about it. Why would people give you money just so you can make a shitty, borderline Lifetime original movie that's going to be even below Bollywood level? Just so you can sit there and piss and moan and screech and cry about someone that called you a dipshit on the internet for having really fucked up opinions. That's not a movie anyone's going to give a shit about seeing. It's not V for Vendetta, it's not Firefly, it's not the fucking Hunger Games. It's basically just you bitching and moaning and demanding to create some shitty borderline soap opera that is most likely just going to be you and I in a hyper-fictionalized and exaggerated situation where you essentially have me incarcerated after some sort of bullshit fake insurrection, and the character portraying me will most likely be executed by beheading or trial by fire because you're the kind of person that does not believe in letting a jury of someone's peers decide guilt, but rather you decide guilt for them, and then they're just obligated to sit there and tolerate whatever punishment you dole out. But yeah, the reason that no one wants to deal with your fucking movie is because it's fucking shitty. It's a shitty idea. It's basically like, see how cool I am because I make up some stupid bullshit about someone that called me dumb on the internet? 6. Nobody cares about how I feel and just ignore my actual suffering. Oh, you mean like how you don't care about the suffering of rape victims or victims of child molestation, and yet you continue to tell everyone that goes through it that they're just a bunch of stupid fucking pussies that don't understand anything, and then when they tell you that you're a horrible fucking person for belittling them like that, you basically sit there and at them because they dare raise their voice in opposition to your dumbass fucking opinions? Forgive me when I say that I don't give a fuck about your sorry little fucking suffering, when your suffering is almost entirely fucking self-imposed. Every bit of suffering that you've ever gone through, I guarantee, has been the result of you being a whiny little shit and then trying to blame others for it. That's all it's ever been. The suffering that you have gone through is not even real fucking suffering. It's basically just, well, someone calls me stupid on the internet for saying awful shit about people and constantly talking about things I clearly know nothing about. And because of that, it's the same thing as me being dragged into the street and beaten with hammers. Honestly, I wish you would be, just because you're a genuinely shit person. But that doesn't mean I would actually go out of my way to do it, because you're not worth an animal cruelty charge. But yeah, like, you cannot blame other people if the, quote, suffering you go through is more or less caused by you being a shitty person and people just choosing not to be around you and not wanting to take part in your dumbass behavior. 7. Finding funding for the 2 most recent projects are slow, if not deadlines. You mean finding funding is difficult, if not impossible. See, here's the thing. When you type sentences like this, it shows me that you're not really literate, because it shows that your ability to process how a sentence flows is completely hindered by your inability to accept the fact that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. But yeah, people are not going to donate money to projects that realistically are not going to have any sort of turnover for them. Like, here's the thing. When people donate money to UNICEF or Habitat for Humanity, it's because those things are actually going to benefit people that are either sick, whose families can't afford their medical care, or people who can't afford homes that are being built in third world countries so that these people have better, more stable houses to live in, so that they can get out of the environment, they can get out of the elements and have a safer, happier life in a lovely home, mind you. But with this, there is no real reward or incentive for anyone to donate to it because the only beneficiary is you. You're basically just trying to use people as pay pigs, but people refuse to do so you're frustrated with it. 8. Running a business by myself is difficult. Well, no shit. Why do you think most small businesses fucking fail? It's because it's incredibly difficult for someone to manage an entire business by themselves. And that's if I'm actually taking this seriously. But I don't. I'm just going to go out on a limb here, and now I'm just going to speculate here. This is speculation. But I speculate this is not really a fucking business. It's basically just you trying to sell your bullshit books to people that are too fucking stupid to even understand the situation, in hopes of getting people to run my integrity down in the public because you're too fucking dumb to admit the fact that you're not right. Like, just call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but I guarantee you, like, a lot of it is basically just buy my shitty books so I can justify myself being a screeching retard to everyone. But yeah, it's not a business. And if it is, it's obviously going to be difficult. That's why most small businesses fucking fail. 9. Everyone else has fun in their lives. Well, I have to work. It's almost like it's not everyone else's job to drop whatever they're doing on their fucking day off to help you do a job that you have to do by your fucking self. Am I permitted to go up to members of my family and demand them to come work at my job during their days off to help me finish my job sooner? No. And they're not obligated to work with me. Not only that, but they probably wouldn't even be let in the fucking building because you need a security key card to get in and out of the fucking building. So they're not going to let them in unless they're wearing visitors passes, and even then they can't work in the facility or even take pictures. They can say hello, drop something off, and that'll be about it. But yeah, being an adult, you're going to have responsibilities like that. It's not everyone else's job to spend their day off helping you work if it's something that you are doing by yourself. And realistically, why the fuck would anyone want to help someone like you if all you're going to do is just be a whiny asshole to everyone? 10. Apparently, loving me is a type of obligation, while loving everyone else is a beautiful part of life. No, when I use the word obligation, I mean it in the sense that no one is obligated just to donate their time and their energy and their money and their affection to you. Because that's what it would be. It would be a donation, essentially. It would basically be like you get shit in one hand and nothing in the other, and then you wonder which hand comes out worse. Because, let's be honest, you lack the capacity to care for another human being because you obsess over their physical aspects instead of who they are as a person beneath the skin. That's the problem. Like, everything you do is skin deep. And yeah, you're trying to justify it by saying that that's love. You wouldn't know what love is because your whole concept of love is where you get everything and the other person just kind of deals with it. That's not love. That's basically just you trying to force your way into someone else's fucking life and trying to make them be okay with it. There's a reason that you and that Christina chick didn't get along. It's because you were probably trying to force yourself into this person's life and make them give up everything that they've ever wanted just so you could feel important for a little while. And honestly, I don't really care if I hurt your fucking feelings when I say this because I don't give two fucks about how you feel. At the end of the day, it's this. You did things that upset her a lot of fucking people, and then you have the temerity to sit there and demand that other people treat you nice and love you and care for you, when all you've ever done during your entire tenure on the internet has been be a piece of shit, be an asshole, be a fuckhead to everyone, and then sit there and bitch and moan because people don't feel like shelling out kindness to someone that's never displayed any of it. Your whole idea of kindness is just looking up to someone and saying, you know what, see you? Yeah, what about it? You're a stupid fucking idiot for not agreeing with my dumbass views, and then you walk away and then you call them a Nazi and shit for years, after long drawn-out exchanges that basically exhaust one of you while the other one's sitting there typing shitty book after shitty book after shitty book, trying to get the person's life fucking destroyed. Which failed miserably, might I add, because no one takes a word you fucking say seriously. There's a reason that I think this post is laughable. It's because it's basically just you trying to gaslight everyone fucking around you, and then trying to make everyone feel like shit over the fact that you're a completely unlikable asshole that no one wants to fucking be around. Here's the thing. Loving someone is a beautiful part of life. However, not everyone has a lifelong relationship. Some people just don't like relationships in general. And you have no right to force a relationship on anyone, regardless of whether or not you think you deserve it. You're not going to pull some fucking Elliot Rodger or Alec Minassian shit where you start saying that you deserve X, Y, and Z because you fucking don't. Like, the closest thing to affection you deserve is a fucking kick in the forehead. 11. The popularity of my projects and myself is low. Of course it is. Do you want to fucking know why? It's because all of your projects is essentially, this person is a mean doo-doo head Nazi conservative. Evidence? No, I don't have any. I'm just gonna keep talking myself in circles like a fucking retard because it's legitimately the only thing I can do that keeps me from putting a razor blade in my mouth. That's all you do. That's the reason your projects don't do well. It's because that not only are they of poor quality because you rush them out like a fucking crackhead, but it's also because you're more concerned with shitting on the person than actually giving the reader and the people that are listening or the people that are watching quality that's actually worth their time. I mean, here's the thing. My videos, I admit, are like junk food entertainment on the internet, but it's made to be junk food entertainment. It's not some sort of bullshit that's pretending to be more complex and more highbrow than it realistically is. I keep it relatively clear that I'm just more or less giving piss takes about things that I've seen or heard, or actually telling people what I think about stuff that's actually going on in the fucking world around me. But with you, it's basically like, yes, you see this golden apple, but it's actually a shit inside, but please eat the apple and tell me it's not shit. Meanwhile, the person takes a bite out of it and realizes it's just a big fucking honking turd right in the middle of the fucking apple and spits it the fuck out and asks you what the fuck you just made them eat. And while you're sitting there trying to make excuses as to why it's so poor quality, everyone else is saying, yeah, you're a fucking asshole and we don't want to tolerate this. That's why your popularity is low and that's why your projects don't do well, is because all your projects are eventually just hit pieces about me and people that I'm associated with, whether it be friends or acquaintances. So yeah, fuck you. All my hard work for nothing. It's not hard work, you blithering idiot. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to sit for 3 months typing the same pack of lies dozens of times and rephrasing them to make yourself seem like a fucking victim each day. It doesn't require a lot of effort. It doesn't. Like, I could basically just summarize your entire book series in like 2 sentences. I said awful things. People told me my ideas were shit. There you go. That was the first and second book. I just started to cry about them because they said my ideas were shit. They told me to shut the fuck up and accept the fact that people aren't going to always agree with me and that they have every right to disagree because my opinions were stupid. There's book 3 through 5. I continue to cry and cry and cry and cry, but no one fucking listens to me, so I constantly lie about people as a way to get their attention for months after they told me to shut my fucking ass and walk away from me for 7 months. That's book 7 through 9. There we fucking go. I call you all up on the non-service series. It took less than 10 minutes. I blame myself for actually thinking that my life was getting better. Your life can never improve because you're constantly being the source of your own hindrances. These are the facts. I cannot lie about the reality around me. I wish that I had better news about my progress, but again, there is none. I am hoping for a better tomorrow. Like, the only way you're ever gonna get a better tomorrow out of this whole fucking situation is if you just learn to accept the fact that you're not right, that your ideals are fucking stupid, that you are a genuinely stupid and crazy motherfucker that no one has to agree with. And the sooner you come to these realizations, the better it'll be for you, because you won't need to constantly walk around with this bullshit superiority complex stuffed into your fucking brain, like you think you're outsmarting everyone just by reading at everyone the hardest. Honestly, I don't really feel any bit bad for you, because you're a genuinely shitty person that no one has to fucking like. All I'm saying is I really look forward to the day that you finally just decide to end up on the back of a milk carton or an obituary column. And honestly, I don't give 2 fucks about your feelings about this, so go fuck yourself.